Alright, Gary, we're going to continue our journey here. Now, it's starting to get a little late, so I'm getting tired, but I'm going to continue with this for now. I have to pick back up tomorrow, but it's funny, when I was looking for wire, I found some, but I also found a piece of my prototype mold that I was making for our battery pack. But that's just a small leftover piece. Makes a good paperweight now. Found some wire. Yeah. I don't know your favorite color. I'd use it. I think, I don't know. I like all these colors. I'm gonna use yellow just for the mere fact that I can see it easily. Because this thing is tiny. It's so small. Luckily I picked up a lot of this extra wire. Doing some other projects. So we gotta find teensy eensy pin 45 in this chip. Like I said, I have a magnifying glass. It's a little hard for me to use it with the camera going, but right around where that white dot is, if you can see it, might be hard to see. So if I angle it just right, right around there, I gotta connect the pin by that white dot. So hard to see. But anyways, that's what I'm gonna work on now. So I'll just strip this wire a little bit here. You can see it's like the tiniest amount of wire exposed here. You can see it. It's so small I don't even know if the camera will focus on it. No. Anyways, we'll try to get it on there. I'm trying my best to tape off the spots that I don't want to get solder on because it's so small, if we can. Because this guy is so small. So I kind of got that on there. I'm going to try to press it down just lightly because we don't want to hurt anything. Do no harm, right? Huh. Okay. I mean, that's okay. Get another little piece and go out the opposite end. See if we can do that again. The hard part is trying to do it so you can see. I have it on the camera, but either way we'll get it done. That's probably okay. I get this to move over just right. Okay. Kind of the idea is just to have that one pin exposed. Try to keep the solder only on it, because we don't want to pull anything up here. Now, get that to stick, you have to tin it just slightly. But I also am going to dip it in a little tiny bit of flux to see if that'll help us stick. Because we're not touching solder to a pin that small. So we'll get a little bit of solder on this tip here. I said a little on it, it's a little. Alright. Got that on there. Now, make sure my tip's clean. We need 0 excess for this. This is just flux paste. I'm just going to take the wire and just push it in here and pull it right back out. Just a little bit on it. I'm going to try to connect that little wire. Now, I'm going to try to bend this. And here comes the really hard part. Maybe there are some people out here that are really great on doing something this small. I've done it a few times and I don't know how. So we're going to do this. There's not too much on there. A little bit more solder on there. The only problem is it needs just the smallest amount. And we also burned our flux off, so we put a very small amount of that back on here. Thing is, we can't force anything. Alright. Let me try this again. I really shouldn't be doing this while I'm tired, but I'm kind of wired now. But still gonna try to get this on there. Guess if I was an easy quitter, then this would never get done. I had to do crazy stuff like this for my Model 3 Genesis. It's kind of the same problem, but you can rewire everything, complete the circuit if you want to make Master System work, like Game Genie, Virtual Racing. I don't know if it's probably Gargoyles, and even the 32X, which is, that's a lot of fun on that too. Let's see if I can get this in here just right. So close. Okay, we got it to take finally. So that's good. Got our wire. So now that that is in place, I'm going to take our tape off carefully here. You can see on there, it's pretty small. I would say it's pretty small. But anyway, now that that's there, I'll find this cool little glue guy. I'm not going to glue the pin, but I don't like to put glue on my solder. I know it's a, all I'm really going to do is put the glue around where the wire is. Just to give it a little, that way if we pull on it a little bit, it's got a little protection. But we're going to keep it off the solder itself and off our chip. So this wire is going to have a little bit of support, then we won't have to worry about if we pull the wire a little bit. But we'll also cut it to length so we don't have excess wire. Alright, so I don't know if it shows on the camera very well, but there's just a little tiny dab of that stuff behind the wire. Then of course we get to test and do all that fun stuff all over again. Because who doesn't love doing that, right? So I think I should cut that now, but I don't know. Let's try to route it maybe. Maybe we'll put it behind here. Take this and push it down just slightly. Okay. I'm not applying pressure on that, just applying the weight of it to hold it down. We'll put one more little support dot on here. I'll do this right here also, because we're going to tilt the bend. Gary, I don't know if you stay up filming later into the evening, burning the midnight oil, but sometimes I solder that late. Which again, may not always be the best idea, but also no distractions going on at that time. Neither my wife or my son are asking me for anything usually at this time, so usually do okay. Alright, so I always give that stuff an extra couple seconds. It says 5 seconds on it, but who knows. Alright, so now I got a little more support on there. Maybe I'll even do one more as we turn around. Some cotton there. Because I need it to stand over. I'm just kind of folding it over the edge of the PCB here. And it will stay in place. I'll probably just loop around this hole. Let's try to get it to bend, because I want it to go right there. So, we don't want any screws to touch this, I'll put a little bit more glue on it to hold our wire where we want it. Oh, this little cotton's getting in my way. Alright, so we'll put it right around here. Let's create a little bridge there. Hold it, and let's. Alright. Cross your fingers moment, you can turn it on, right? Let's see if Master System games work, and other games for that matter, as long as we did everything right. I'll leave myself just a tiny bit extra, because I don't want to redo that. I'm going to strip the end here just a little. Okay. Now, probably see where we're going with this now. So let's get a little solder on here. Alright. That's gonna be a little hot. I don't want to touch that. So I'll make this toothpick hold it down for me. Alright. Well, let's see if that works now, Gary. I got a little bit of cleaning to do though. So now that we have that in there, it should do it for Master System. So you can see, it's fun, right? Got a couple different support places. Maybe we'll do one more, just for good measure. Because who would want to do this again? I guess I'm the crazy person that did, but I wouldn't. Don't know if I would do it again for just anybody, Gary. Alright, that should be good. And our wire shouldn't move anywhere. We've got out of the way the screw holes and everything. Nice and yellow. Told you it'd be easy to see with the yellow on there. And then I'm going to clean up some of the junk on this board. It's dirty. I wiped this off before, but it needs to be wiped off a lot more. And there's excess flux on here and such, so we'll clean it. It's so funny that Sega likes to name everything planets. This one's Venus. And I think Mars was the 32X, and then you had the Saturn, of course. But I don't think anything else kept its little code names, but that's too bad. They could have went on and continued naming things planets, which is more fun than naming them after swords, at least I thought. But alright, so let me stop this. We'll clean up all of these pieces, and then I'll come back and we'll test and see if the games work.